tengo que citar la entrevista, que si no he ido antes porque estaba con el presidente. Okay. Tenía que oírlo. The matter is this, that he wants to take the voice of the press to his headquarters and have a conference there.
And now, as we've already said, we're showing a short tribute to Mike Hawthorne. The program, as I see it, from Scotland, will now be in about 10 minutes' time.
I knew Mike Hawthorne mainly through television, meeting him at the various motor race meetings. He was always full of fun, and yet behind it all you knew that there was a very clear, calculating brain that enabled him to drive so well and to win so many races.
I would like to say that Mike was the finest team member you could possibly be with, and one of the proofs of a team is what the mechanics think of a driver, and all the mechanics really loved Mike. And I feel that in one of the old sayings, today we've lost one of the gentlemen of England.
Now that you're gone, I left all alone, all by myself, to wander and roam, 'cause I love my girl, Donna, where can you be?
The Viscount airliner that brought Adnan Menderes to Britain for the Cyprus conference crashed in a wood near Gatwick Airport. 15 people were killed. Mr. Menderes himself was only slightly injured. From the wreckage, he was taken to a nearby farm, thence to the London clinic. The aircraft was diverted from London Airport because of fog, but on its final approach came in too low and hit the treetops.
May I congratulate you right here and now on your 50th anniversary in show business.
Thank you. What do you mean, 50th anniversary? This is our 50th show, I tell you.
I'm sorry. Well, it's an easy mistake to make, isn't it?
I don't want any of your cheek, my lad. Now, what are you going to play?
Side saddle.
I don't care about the position. What's the music?
Side saddle. And you made that joke last time, and it wasn't funny either.
You know, one of these days I'm going to put you right at the top of the hit parade with my boot.
That's a better joke.
You go and play and I'll tell you later. So here is Russ Conway to play his own composition, which he wrote under a nom de plume. He's dead scared to write it under his own name. Here it is, Side Saddle.
Matarios wanted to open negotiations for parts of the agreement. He wanted to discuss certain provisions of the agreement, but we have come here knowing the provisions of the agreement, and we have come here in order to agree and sign this thing and finish it. So, of course, everyone was against him, and he had to give in by this morning.
The question of Cyprus presented many difficulties. All parties concerned, however, showed mutual understanding in their efforts to reach agreement. This day, a new chapter opens up for the people of Cyprus, a period of peace and prosperity and freedom.
In the meantime, let's get on with the show. And here is Eddie Cochran, his crazy guitar, and Teenage Heaven.
I want a house with a pool, shorter hours in school, and a room with my own private phone. I want to be up all night, see the big city lights, no more trouble or worries at home. Yeah, just give me some time on my hand. I want to make my own private plan. Yeah, I want my own fruity bill, make my dad pay the bill. Yeah, man, that's a heaven to me. Yeah, man, that's a heaven to me.
One night with you is what I'm now praying for. The things that we two could plan would make my dreams come true. Just call my name and I'll be right by your side. I want your sweet helping hand. My love's too strong to hide. Always lived very quite right. I ain't never did no wrong. Now I know that life without you has been too lonely, too long. One night with you is what I'm now praying for. The things that we two could plan would make my dream come true.
The first television pictures ever to be transmitted were seen in Britain 30 years ago. Today, in this atomic age, our scientists have pioneered in harnessing atomic power to man's needs.
They ask me how I knew my true love was true. I must reply, something here inside cannot be denied. Said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Oh, when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in.
Well, the Comet, in which we're just finishing a round-the-world trip, will do half the new service. It'll fly eastbound across Europe and the Middle East to Hong Kong and Tokyo. And meanwhile, the Britannia turboprop will be flying the Atlantic and then the Pacific to Tokyo and Hong Kong. So if you've got £500 to spare, you can either fly with the clock or against it, change at Tokyo and fly round the world eastbound in 3.5 days or westbound in 4.5. Copy, sir? Thank you.
Hello. One of the more frightening things that can happen to a man in the Far East is to land at Hong Kong Airport. This is a very small colony, about 361 square miles, and there just isn't room for a runway to stretch. The runways of the present Hong Kong airport are crouched up against the side of the mountains. And to come in, the plane flies down a ravine with its wing tips almost touching the mountain tops, turns right at the bottom and left, and altogether it's a very alarming experience. There's one just landing down there, perhaps you can see it. It's a long way away. It's not the kind of thing that a traveller enjoys, at any rate. And coming in from Bangkok the other day, the captain of the aircraft came back into the passenger cabin, and I confess that the last few miles of the flight to Hong Kong, I always shut my eyes. And the captain said, well, as a matter of fact, old chap, so do I.
No use of sitting and singing the blues. So be my guest, you've got nothing to lose. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise? Ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, baby. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise? Feel like jumping, baby, won't you join me, please? I don't like begging, but now I'm on bended knee. I got to get to rock and get my hat off the rack. I got to boogie-woogie like a knife in the back. So be my guest, you've got nothing to lose. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise? Ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, baby. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise?
You see many famous people waiting here, of course. Mr. Selwyn Lloyd, you notice they're towing the line now, which always causes a certain amount of amusement on these occasions. Memories of the days, I think, when they stood in a row of 11 on a football field. And then opposite this row of dignitaries, there are the members of the Persian diplomatic staff in London. Some very striking women, some very striking hats. And one thing they share in common, the fine Assyrian features. Now there is a famous figure in the middle, Mr. Nubar Gulbenkian, one of the richest men in the world, some people say the very richest.
Everybody always picking on me.
Mama, don't you treat me wrong. Come and love your daddy all night long. All right, yeah. Whoa, all right. When you see me in misery, come over, baby, see about me now. All right, yeah. I'm gonna know. Play it one time, son.
Pensacola, Florida, the smaller of the two monkeys recovered alive from outer space receives a Medal of Honor. A survivor of flight 300 miles above the Earth, Monkey Baker takes her earthly honors quite calmly.
Here comes summer, school is out, oh happy day. Here comes summer, I'm gonna grab my girl and run away. Here comes summer, we'll go swimming every day and let the sun shine bright on my happy summer home. Well, school's not so bad, but summer's better. It gives me more time to see my girl who walks through the park neath the shining moon. And when we kiss, she makes my flat top curl.
Well, we're very proud of the fact that this idea of the World Refugee Year started in Britain. And we shall do everything we can to make a success of it. It's now got the support of, I think, more than half the nations of the world, and its object is really to try and make a real effort to settle the mass of refugees who still remain in the camps.
It's summer, she'll be with me every day. Here comes summer, meet the gang at Joe's Cafe if she's willing. We'll go steady right away and let the sun shine bright on my happy summer home. Let the sun shine bright. Well, here comes summertime at last.
What difference does it make to you when you take heroin? How do you get when you can't get a fix?
Well, I don't feel good. I can't. I hate people, you know.
You hate people?
I hate people, you know. I don't even can't talk to nobody. I don't want to see nobody, you know.
And when you've had a fix?
When I had a fix, you know, I could talk to people.
Like you're talking to me
Like
now?
I'm talking to you now.
Down in the city jail, New Yorkers call it the Tombs. A drug addict is just another criminal. Here, if you're over 21, you get the cold turkey treatment, the sudden cutting off of the drug altogether, sometimes with horrible results.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do anything about narcotics for juveniles or adults. We are still struggling to find a methodology that might produce better results than what we've done in
It is a great personal privilege to be a part of the ceremony of the official opening and dedication of the St. Lawrence Seaway. Je suis très heureux de me trouver, retrouver parmi vous au Canada où il y a un an. J'ai fait un si agréable séjour.
Well, 3, 2, 1, 0, here I go. A sailing across the stars onto a silvery moon. If you wanna know what heaven's like, you'll be there soon. Kisses that float before my very eyes. I know the sight that you can generate a million sighs. Set my destination, baby, don't you know? Well, 3, 2, 1, 0, here I go. Sail across the stars into a silvery moon. If you wanna know what heaven's like, you'll be there soon.
Thank you very much for very nice reception and very nice welcome. Thank you very much.
Did you have a nice lunch?
Yes, very, very nice.
When you left me all alone at the record house, told me you were going out for a soda pop. You were gone for quite a while, half an hour more. You came back and man, oh man, this is what I thought. A lipstick on your collar, told a sail on you. A lipstick on your collar, said you were untrue. Bet your bottom dollar, you and I are through. 'Cause a lipstick on your collar told a tale on you. Yeah, you said it belonged to me, made me stop and think. And then I noticed yours was red, mine was baby pink. Who walked in but Mary Jane, lipstick all a mess? Were you smooching my best friend? Yes, the answer's yes. A lipstick on your collar told a tale on you. A lipstick on your collar said you were untrue. Bet your bottom dollar, you and I are through. 'Cause a lipstick on your collar told a tale on you.
Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart. 'Cause I am so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be a lonely one if you should say we're through. Now if you wanna make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you should say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? Why must I be a teenager in love? In love.
If you vote Labour, you're voting for more nationalisation. And they're hoping that you will vote blindfold, for not one word of their television programmes has been devoted to this, by far the most important proposal that they make.
I mean, I want to look a bit respectful. I've done my duty for my country. Why shouldn't I have a few shillings?
Has all this broadcasting made any difference to the way you're going?
Not a little bit, no. I'm very, very firm. I don't change, not one little bit.
I don't think it's much for either side, really.
You wouldn't say much for either side?
No.
Are all these broadcasts influencing your decision?
No, they're not influencing my decision. They're just making me sick.
The Conservatives have won the general election by a margin of just over 100 seats. This afternoon, at a press conference at Labour Party headquarters, Mr. Gateskill made the statement.
We have suffered neither a landslide nor a disaster, but a setback. We had hoped to win 40 or 50 seats. Instead, we have lost 23.
Were you fired here today?
No, I was not.
Well, are you going to be working for WNEW anymore?
I will be here the rest of this week on my TV show.
After that, no more?
Probably not. That hasn't been... We've only had a mutual dissolvement of our contractual agreement here today, and it has been a very mutual dissolvement.
Did you ever take payola while you were on here?
No, I did not.
Did you ever take any payola for the ABC radio show?
No, I did not.
Adam Faith and the Everly Brothers play some of the music in 1960, next week's Rock and Roll Year at the same time. In a moment on BBC One, Casualty.